So welcome to our first video where we're going to be looking at how to create the templates. So what I've done is I've just drawn out a template for the strawberry and the lemon and the smaller lemon, and I just used some card, drew it with a pencil, and I've done a few attempts just to get it how I wanted, rubbed out the lines, and then when I got it how I wanted the size and the shapes to be, I've just cut them out. And I'm going to keep those in my little template library for if I ever want to use them again in the future. Now, in terms of getting the shape, even though this is the lemon, this is the strawberry, that's the little mini lemon, because I'm going to show you how to make those cute little pieces that are tiny and they've got little faces on, so we'll do those later. But even though the strawberry is much smaller in scale to the lemon and the orange slice and the lime slice that we're going to be making, we want them all to be the same because coasters need to be consistent. So it's more about the decor and the look and feel of them and the functionality rather than the scale of it. So we want to make sure that, this is a cup that might be placed on top of one of the coasters. We want to make sure that it's going to be big enough for the base of a glass or a cup, and this is roughly about the size that we're going to need. So we have to have artistic license with the strawberry on this occasion. Now this cup's actually coming in handy because this is going to be the size and the shape of my lemon and lime slice, and as you can see, it has the same kind of width as the strawberry and the lime, so it's perfect. And I'm sure that you'll be able to find some round object in your home that you can use to cut around as well. So let's start using our templates, and we're going to prepare by placing the piece of cloth down. I'm going to get a piece of clay that I've got ready here. I've just shaped it into a thick sort of round patty shape. I'm going to pop that in the centre there, and then place a piece of cloth over the top of it. Split it that side down. Then I'm going to use my bamboo rulers because we want a good thickness on these coasters. They need to be robust because they're going to be put down on surfaces, going to have things put on top of them. So they need to be the full thickness of the bamboo ruler. So I'm going to start rolling out, and when I get to a certain level with the clay, I'm just going to turn it around so that we can get the right kind of shape for either our lemon or our lime. So just rolling out until I get the resistance of the rulers. So I've rolled that out level. Just gonna turn it around, and one more time just check that we've got the right consistency, the right level there. And then don't worry about the wrinkles of the cloth causing any issues here with the look of the clay, because we're going to use our either the steel kidney or one of the plastic kidneys just to smooth out the clay. Make sure that we get rid of any little air bubbles. We've got some marks there, we're just going to get rid of that. Because of course we want the surface of these to be really smooth and beautiful. Because our coasters are, it's the aesthetic that we're going for. They just want to be flat and perfect, as perfect as possible. I just nicked that there, but never mind. So the first thing that we're going to do is to just pop the cup down, to use this to cut around. Now, one thing that you can do, I'll show you a technique later on with some cling film, but we'll do that for the smaller one. Now, don't want to press down too hard, because if I do, the clay is going to get stuck to the cup. So I'm just going to use it as a guide to cut around. Hopefully it won't get stuck to the cup. It has done previously. Let's just move my cup out of the way, and then I can do that last bit there. You can see the edge is very raggedy. Just going to go all the way across there and then take that excess clay away. Lift up my coaster. Oops. And I'm just going to pat the edges. Now don't worry too much about the edges being rough, because you can smooth it around. Just get a wet baby wet wipe and do this, or you can do it with your fingers, and just make sure it's nice and smooth, those edges. I'm going to get my trusty board and a piece of Teflon. We've got cling film on the brain, so I'm just going to place my Teflon on there, and I'm just going to round those edges off with my fingers. Just smooth it over, smooth it around, and make sure that that looks tidier. As I said, I'm just going to move these out of the way. You can also get a baby wipe or a wet wipe and use that to just smooth around the edges. It's going to create this lovely sort of, I'll pick that up so you can see it, rounded effect with the baby wipe. Because your finger is dry, your fingers are dry, so this just creates a nice smooth edge to your coaster. Now if it's not perfectly round, you can sort that out later when it's dried, and once it's dried we can give it a really good sand and smooth and get it as perfect as we like as possible. But that is looking pretty good in my eyes, to my eyes. So I do two of those, one for the orange slice, one for the lime slice. Now you could make these all in the same design, it's up to you, because they are your coasters. Now let's bring this clay back, because we've got some clay that we've rolled out, and it's the right thickness. I'm just going to show you a technique to cut out the small circle for the small orange slice. I'm just going to get some cling film, or if you're in America, this is saran wrap. I'm going to place it over the clay like this, and then just cut through. So take your cutter and cut through, and can you see what happens? You get this really lovely rounded edge effect with your clay. So it's just another way of doing this and giving it a really lovely rounded edge. So you can do that. So that's a lovely little orange or lime slice, the mini one. Pop that onto my board over there. Now I could do this again. So I'm going to pop the cling film down there, just get it unwrinkled, and then cut again through it with my round cutter. Just gonna lift that away. And this could be my watermelon slice. So again, I'm just gonna, you'll find that your edges are a lot neater when you do it that way. And let me just bring another board over, pop that down on there, and then this time I'm using my kidney, but the blade side up, or if you have a cutting blade you can do that. And so you want to just get it even, and you're going to cut down the center to create two hearts. Separate those, and that is my little watermelon slices, my mini watermelon slices. You could make them a bit bigger if you wanted to. So we're going to do the other pieces. I'm just going to pop that board to one side, and let's roll out some more clay. Let's gather this clay back up together, and I'm going to show you how to cut around the paper templates as well. just so you know how to do that one. So you're going to again need your needle file, your needle tool. You're going to need your rulers. I'm going to pinch off some more clay to get this kind of lemon shape. So I'm just going to get it into, when you're, just before you're rolling, you want your clay to be quite thick, but you want it to be in the kind of shape that you're going to roll it into. So if you're rolling a long rectangular shape, then it, you know, you don't want it as a wide circular shape. You want it to be narrower to assist the process. But because we're rolling out something that's round, has a more of a rounded look to it, that's what we're going to do there. So I'm going to put my fabric on here. It's getting very old and tired, this fabric. It's going to need to be retired soon. It's gone through a lot. So I'm getting my rough kind of lemon shape here. Excuse me for shaking the camera while I roll. And just do that, turn it one more time. And you want to get your clay rolled out so it's level with the width of the rulers until you can roll no more. So I'm going to take those away. Peel back our fabric. Just get my clay's dried up a little bit on the edge of this. I'm just going to give it a clean and then give it the clay a nice skim over with this. Just make it nice and flat and level, getting rid of any air bubbles here. And then you want your shapes. So that's just big enough for my strawberry actually. So I think I'm going to cut my strawberry out using this because that's the perfect shape. So I'm going to press that down, that piece of card template onto my clay. Take my needle tool, just clean it off there. And then I'm going to go around, going all the way through, cut my strawberry shape out. Just take those away. Cutting around the edge of my strawberry. Got our little leaf bit, the little greenery at the top of the strawberry, and then cutting around the berry itself into that general shape. And remember, you can refine it. Use that to take that away. Quite easily once you've dried your clay out. When it gets to a leather hard or bone dry stage. My clay's very wet today. It's sticking. So if this happens to you, just know it happens to me too. So let's peel that away, and then we've got our lovely strawberry shape. Just going to pick the edge of that cloth up and peel it away, and then I'm going to use my wet wipe just to see I've got a little bit of excess clay there, and give that a wipe over to create my lovely strawberry shape. And that will look amazing when it's painted. It's really going to look far more like a strawberry than it does right now. So when you dry these, you want it to be as flat as possible. So you want to put it onto a piece of Teflon or something that's it's not going to get stuck onto. If you've got any extra little bits of clay, you can just remove them with your needle tool. You can go around again with your wet wipe if you wish, and then leave those to dry until they're perfectly white. They feel really dry, they've got a chalky appearance, and then we can come back and refine them. So this is a super easy project, and the hardest part of it is the painting, the design on it, but it's so much fun and they look so effective. You know, you're going to get so many compliments when you use these in the spring and the summer. It just brings a bit of colour into your life. So that's the first part. Cut all your shapes out, leave them to dry, and then when they come back, and we're going to refine them and start doing some painting.